What is up, guys? I am currently walking home after a friend's birthday in the city. So I thought it would be the perfect time to do a Walking with Pete episode, as I had a few things to chat about and could talk to you about my week, my day. So yeah, I've just been in at the museum studying today. I'm going to put together my talk. I think I told you about this in the last Walking with Pete episode. But aside from that, I was just hanging out with some friends, as well as having dinner out with them first. And then I had a birthday event at Pancake Parlour in Melbourne Central, which is sort of like a mall, a big sort of, I guess it's a mall, like a place where there's a whole bunch of other shops and businesses, and they're all open late at night. You've got bars in there. The Lion Club is one of the bars that I go to from time to time there that has a lot of foreign people that go, and they often have language meetups, I think, there too. So we went to Pancake Parlour for Kate's 28th birthday, I believe. And it's funny, they've got like a deal at the moment, obviously, to get more people to go later on at night. It's very, very clever, where normally they have pancakes for, I think it's $19.90, about $20 or so to get these certain pancakes there. And at the moment there's a deal going during winter where if you go and then sign up on their website, you get an email and you show the people at the front of the business there the email that you've received. You get given a card, and then for the same pancakes that you would normally pay $19.90 for, you pay what the temperature is in dollars. So tonight, for instance, instead of paying $19.90, I only had to pay $9.20 because at the time that I bought the pancakes, the temperature was 9 degrees 0.2. And the cool thing is that the longer you wait, obviously at night the temperature goes down, and the cheaper the pancakes get. And I feel like it's incredibly clever because it's encouraging people to go to Pancake Parlour the later it gets, and they're open until like 2 a.m. And so potentially if you went there at 2 a.m, the pancakes would only cost you, maybe $1, $2, maybe even $0, depending on the temperature. So anyway, yeah, that's what I got up to tonight. It was pretty cool. There was a lot of people there. So I'm so stuffed. I'm so full. I've had a lot to eat. We went out and had Japanese food before that, and then pancakes. Oh, it was just insane. Too much food. But hey, you've got to have those sorts of one-off events, special events on weekends, right? Where you just let loose and enjoy yourself, do something a little bit naughty. So this week's was Japanese food followed by some pancakes. Anyway, aside from that, at the museum working away, doing my talk, my presentation that I've got to get together for the next maybe 2 weeks. Within the next 2 weeks I have to give this presentation, and then I pretty much just have to sit back, relax, kick my feet up, take it easy, wait for the marks to come back from the PhD, and I'm done once I make those changes. I wonder if you can hear these lorikeets across the road. So it's pretty funny. At the moment it's probably, what will the time be? I think it's about 9 o'clock. And these parents are going nuts in the middle of the road here. I'm at Flemington Road, so I'm near the hospital walking home. And these lorikeets are obviously getting ready for the night. They're all going nuts. They're going bonkers, going crazy, making a lot of noise in these trees while I'm walking home, and it's nice and cool. It's probably about 7 or 8 degrees now. Meant to get down to about 3 degrees. So yeah, nice and calm. Bit of noise in the background, guys, so apologies if there's a lot of traffic noise in the background, though it shouldn't be too bad. The last episode that I did was okay because I've got the mic pretty close to my mouth, so hopefully you guys can hear me okay. But Yeah, besides that today, you may or may not have been online when I did a live session. So it was a live session talking about phrasal verbs, and today's session was talking about the phrasal verbs that go with on and off as opposites. So in English we have obviously a lot of phrasal verbs, as I'm sure you guys know. You guys will probably know this all the more than even I do, because obviously I use a lot of these things naturally without having to think about it. And so I'm trying to take a different approach to teaching phrasal verbs. I want to teach you about how I as a native use them, as opposed to having to learn them all one by one, which is a pretty laborious task because there are a lot of them, again, as I'm sure you all know. And so I'm trying to come at it more from the approach of teaching you how I'm thinking about the message that I'm trying to communicate and why I decide to use certain phrasal verbs and how I decide to use them. And so as you know, phrasal verbs tend to be two or more words that act as a verb, quite often a verb and then an adverb or a preposition. For instance, put on, take off, get up to something, there's those multiple words. But quite often, especially with these phrasal verbs that I would refer to as regular phrasal verbs, where they have a literal meaning. It's not something like, what's a phrasal verb that doesn't have a literal meaning? Things are going to look up, maybe meaning that things are going to get better. Or what are you up to? That's a good example. That's a common one, where to be up to something doesn't really have like it doesn't make literal sense. But there are lots of phrasal verbs that do make literal sense, like to put something on, as in to put your jumper on, to wear something, or to take something off, as in to remove something, a piece of clothing, or to pick something up, or put something down. A lot of those make literal sense, and there's heaps of those in English. So at the moment I'm trying to tackle those and teach you guys those in live classes on Facebook, as you will have noticed. And I think it's much more important, if you've noticed already how I teach these, I try and talk about how you want to be thinking about two things when you're using these phrasal verbs. At least me as a native, I'm thinking about two things. I'm thinking about, a lot of the time, in the cases of off and on or in and out, I'm thinking about a directionality. So for instance, if I'm going in or I'm coming out, I'm thinking about, when I'm using in or out, as the direction that I'm going. Am I going in or am I coming out? And then I'm deciding on the verb that I want to use by how I'm trying to explain the action of going in or going out, or coming in or coming out. So for instance, I might say that I'm running in or I'm walking out. I'm jumping in or I'm hopping out. So a lot of the time, independent of the preposition, the verb can be changed however you like, simply to describe what's happening. So that's how a lot of the time natives aren't thinking about phrasal verbs in like, oh, what phrasal verb do I have to use here? It's more, what's the action that's taking place? What's the verb that I want to use? And then what direction is it going in? How am I describing the action that's taking place, and then the movement that's occurring? For instance, picking up, putting down. The verb there, pick, is describing you holding the thing, grabbing the thing, touching the thing. You're grasping the thing. And then the preposition up is telling me that you're lifting it up. You're grasping that thing and you're lifting. So you're picking it up. But then I can change the verb and say I'm lifting it up. You could say other verbs and it wouldn't be too bad, but it may not necessarily be common or correct. Like if I was to say I'm grabbing it up or I'm handing it up, or other verbs to describe that action, they may not be common, but a native speaker is going to know exactly what you're trying to say if you do those kinds of things. And that's how we learn as natives. We don't learn what's what is a phrasal verb and what isn't a phrasal verb, we obviously learn by using and learn by listening, by reading, by absorbing the language. And so this is an approach I think you guys need to take, and it's why I'm trying to teach the classes the way I'm teaching them, where I'm trying to give you the concept of how I as a native am thinking about using phrasal verbs like this, sorry about the sound, and then allow you to take this concept and apply it when you're talking, as opposed to having to just memorize a long list of phrasal verbs, especially for regular ones, because chances are you certainly already know all the common verbs that we use with phrasal verbs, like to come, to go, to put, to pick, to lift. Oh, wait a second. So you almost definitely know all the words that phrasal verbs are composed of, particularly common regular phrasal verbs. And so I want to teach you how to create them yourself, because once you learn that pattern, you don't need to look at the list of phrasal verbs and learn them all by heart. You'll just apply that concept, you'll apply that rule, and you may say the odd, you might make a weird combination from time to time, like I'm grabbing something up, or it's hard for me as a native to think about wrong phrasal verbs. Grabbing something up, grabbing something down, picking something down. You might use these weird combinations that aren't technically phrasal verbs, that aren't commonly used by natives, but people are going to get the idea. And eventually, people are going to correct you, and you're going to use the correct phrasal verbs. So that's why I'm doing these live sessions. I'm trying to take a different approach to teaching you guys these phrasal verbs, where I teach you more about the concepts of using them, particularly with opposites, like to turn something on versus to turn it off, the idea of on versus off, in that case to go in versus to go out, the idea of in and out, in that case where the verbs can change independently of the prepositions. So that's why I've sort of wanted to make this Walking with Pete episode, to introduce that kind of idea to you guys, to talk about the concepts that I am trying to discuss in the live classes that I'm going to do on Facebook in the near future. And also, I guess, just to talk to you guys openly about that and to see what you think of them. I want you to make sure you get on Facebook and take a look at the classes that I've already done. So I've already done ones on the phrasal verbs using in and out as opposites, as well as on and off as opposites. And let me know what you think. Are they too long? Are they too short? Would you prefer a different kind of setup? Because at the moment I kind of try and just riff it, meaning I make it up, I wing it, I improvise. I just try and talk to you guys as if you were just sitting there with me, as opposed to reading off a transcript verbatim, reading off a transcript word for word, just repeating what's in front of me, because I feel like that's not real English, that's not how people speak. And so you're going to hear, that's why I always don't read off a transcript. I always just have point form to try and, riff it, to make it up, to improvise and show you what real English sounds like. So step one for you guys is to go over to Facebook, check that all out, let me know what you think, give me some feedback. Step two, I guess, is to tell you that the idea behind that is to obviously create more content for the online membership, the Aussie English online membership. And I know I keep harping on about this, meaning I keep talking about this all the time, but I'm trying to create effectively a one-stop shop, meaning the only place you need to go in order to not only learn Australian English, but English more generally. So my dream, my idea at the moment is to create this online service for you guys where you can get on, you can become a member, you can mingle, you can meet up with other people that are also learning English, as well as get more access to me as a teacher, but then also give you these kinds of resources where I'll have mini courses about pronunciation, about phrasal verbs, about Australian history. I want to just keep adding to it week by week, expanding this thing as it goes, growing this thing, and just create awesome content for you guys. But the most important thing for me, aside from obviously creating this stuff, is to get feedback from you, because I may think I know what you want. I may think I have good ideas, or that this makes sense, this is going to be interesting, but at the end of the day, ultimately, in the end, I need to hear back from you to see what you think. You need to tell me what you think. You need to give me your 2 cents, meaning you need to tell me what you think, give me your opinion, and be honest. You're allowed to not like things. You're allowed to think, oh, Pete, this is good, but it might be better if you do it this way, or if you mention this, or if it's longer, or if it's shorter. So really, 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 please get on Facebook or send me an email, send me a message on Facebook, whatever you want, but give me some feedback. Tell me your opinion of these things and how I can better serve you guys and help you learn English, because my passion, my mission is to give you guys a place to learn Australian English, to better equip you, to better facilitate your learning of Australian English in particular, but obviously English more generally, and allow you to come here and speak like a native, understand natives, understand our culture, understand our history, and better fit in, because that's what I seem to hear from a lot of people that come to Australia. It's really hard to meet Australians. It's really hard to get the jokes Australians make. It's really hard to understand the slang that Australians use. It's really hard to understand the pronunciation that Australians use. It's really hard to speak like an Australian. So my mission is to answer these questions, or at least equip you with some kind of tool, some kind of materials that are going to allow you to overcome these issues. And that's why I'm trying to create this online membership at the moment. At the moment, you obviously know that I have the Aussie English Supporter Pack, which covers all of the podcast. So obviously once a week I release an expression episode. I try and do it on Sunday night, where I release that for you guys, and I give you the transcript and a heap of exercises to reinforce what you've learnt in that lesson, to go over phrasal verbs, vocab, and a point of grammar that we've used in that lesson, to really reinforce what you hear on the podcast and accelerate your learning. But whilst I start at least growing this online membership library, I'm going to just be adding all of this material, all of the mini courses, like that pronunciation of the muted NT, and I'm going to do some stuff for the endings of words that I did on YouTube the other day, that episode, that other one simple tip to sound more Australian. I'm going to put through a step-by-step guide on that. But before I release this more broad membership website, for now, I'm just going to be adding it all to the Aussie English Supporter Pack. So remember, you guys can sign up for that. At the moment, it's $1 to try it for a week, and then it's $19 per month after that. At the moment, if you sign up now, the prices will never change. So ultimately, if you sign up now while I'm building everything, I plan to turn the Aussie English Supporter Pack, at least at the moment, into the future membership. And the future membership, once I've created everything and grown it, is going to cost more, much more, or at least, a fair price obviously, but more, because it's going to have so much more to it, and I'm going to make myself more available for people, but it's going to cost more. So the point is, if you sign up now, you're going to be paying a lot less for what will be the Aussie English membership in the future, once I get rid of the Aussie English Supporter Pack. And that's going to happen, I'm thinking, in the next 3 to 6 months. Like, I'm chipping away at the moment, I'm slowly creating material, I'm slowly adding to the library, but I don't want to release it until I have a bit of material built up for you guys. So until then, if you want a really good deal and you want to support me and you want to join up on the Aussie English website and become a member, all you have to do is go to www.theaussieenglishpodcast.com and then click Learn English Faster. You can try it for a week. It's $1. See what you think. Again, if you've got any feedback, you like it, you don't like it, you'd prefer I added this to it, you prefer I added that to it, then let me know. Give me feedback. I'm open to changing and doing different things and taking on board, thinking about what it is that you would prefer. And if you don't like it, I will give you your money back. Like, that is the thing. I want it to be zero risk for you guys. If you give it a go, try it for a week, and then you pay the $19 for the first month. If after a month total, so if after your first 4 weeks, a whole month, 30 days, you're not 100% satisfied with it for whatever reason, I will give you your money back. 100% money back guarantee, no questions asked. Ultimately, guys, I want it to be risk-free. I want you guys to be able to try it, to be able to learn from it, to improve your English. So, loud cars. So that's it for this episode, guys. One more Walking with Pete episode. I'm about to get home and I'll probably do some more Aussie English stuff before I go to bed. Again, I'm thinking about doing that slang challenge soon, 30-day slang challenge, so I might put that together this weekend. We'll see how much time I've got. And yeah, I guess we'll leave it at that, guys. I'll chat to you soon. All the best. If you need help with anything, if you just want to chat to me, remember you can send me an email at the Aussie English Podcast @gmail.com, or just send me a message on Facebook. You are always welcome to chat to me on Facebook, and when and if I have time, I will always reply and just say g'day or try and help you with whatever issues you have at the time. So thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for everyone who's been showing up to the live sessions on Facebook. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys are loving it. I'm also going to, I should mention before I log off, I'm also going to put them on the podcast, and I'd love to know what you think, because I'm not sure if they'll fit well, because some of them are pretty long, but I want to give you as much resources as possible, so I might put them up on the podcast, see what you guys think. But this has definitely gone long enough, and I'll chat to you soon. All the best, guys.